Yes, we are live. A positive vibration to start. Hey Amelia, how you going? I hope the day's been good for you. Can of Coke, here he goes. Here's me buddy. How are you guys? Yes, a bit later tonight. A few things going on. So we'll probably do a bit of a shorter. I'm good, mate. I'm good to both of you. It's been a good day. Lots of positive interactions. A lot of positive attitude out there. You know, yeah, it's 8:48. I mean, I'm probably going to do a shorter live tonight, but I thought I'd try and get a few people interacting a bit more while they're here. Try and change it up a little bit. You know, my general chat with everyone. It's really about connecting with new people that come on and see if they're interested in learning. You know, more positive ways to transform what's going on in their life, right? So I talk about that on a constant basis. But I'm hoping that, you know, tonight I might be able to get you guys to post answers to questions that I pose to you, which I'll say one now for both of you if you like, and the couple of people that are on. You know, if you are able to say anything to yourself to make yourself feel the best you could feel about who you are, what would you want to say to yourself? What would be a very positive thing you could say to yourself? Feel free to post it on the chat, you know, and remember that everything you say, everything that you think, everything that you act out in life is the messages that you send to your subconscious that keeps making those things, keeps creating those things over and over again. So it's important to take ownership of what you're saying to yourself. You see, like, if there's a few people on that have not seen me before, I'm Craig. This is my YouTube live chat, and I basically talk about how we can take control of our lives. What time do I sleep? Later. I'm an older guy, probably hitting the hay about 11 most nights, but 11 p.m. that is. But you know, this chat and this thing that I'm doing is about really taking conscious control of what I'm saying. Hey Gene, how you going? What I'm saying, and I'm hoping that in myself doing much more positive speaking and understanding about what I'm doing and what I'm saying and how that transforms my life, that people get the reflection of that for themselves, and they start to realize that, hey, you know, if I'm going to act more positively, then I'm going to bring more positive things into my own life. And that's what this is about for me. It's about speaking my truth. It's about being the most authentic person I can be. It's about listening to the part of myself that is genuine. No bullshit, no fluff, no made up falseness, you know. Be vulnerable, put yourself out there, be brave, be the truest you can be. I think that's the way that people can transform their lives for the better. So I talk about those things in general, but tonight there's a couple of regulars on here, Amelia and Can of Coke. He loves the Coke, that boy. These guys listen a lot, and you know, they listen to a lot of the positive affirmations and attitudes that I put forward. You know, if you could have anything in your life, if you wanted to change anything in your life, and I say this to everybody, and what you say would instantly happen in your life, what is it that you want to say to yourself? What is it that you want to put out there to the world? I mean, what do you want in your life? What's most important to you? Post it. Tell us. Throw it out there. And we'll do that through the chat tonight, just to see see if you guys can give yourself a bit of a reflection about what's actually going on inside your own mind, and listening to the truest part of yourself, which is listening to your heart. What are the things that you wish were happening in your life, that you wish you could transform your life, and all of a sudden you were living that type of life? You know, tell yourself what they are. Tell yourself on the chat, write it down, put it out there. It's no big deal. You know, plenty of anonymity here. No one knows who you are. Post what you like. But, you know, obviously with everything that we talk about here, I want everyone to be talking as positive as they can. People that carry on in a negative way or so on and so forth, well, I'll probably end up blocking what they're saying. But, you know, this is something that I believe in. I think that the world needs, and I think people need to believe that it's a positive thing for them if they actually are more positive. Your actions, your thoughts and your comments and your actions create the reflection of your world back to you. Do you want your world to be extremely happy and positive and loving and joyful and exciting? Then act that way, right? Hey, Clark, how you going? You wrote that last night, mate. Everyone's done probably most of those things, right? But it's about being authentic. It's about basically liking yourself and accepting yourself, warts and all, for who you are. And once you know who you are right now, that's when you got the opportunity to transform areas to become more positive. It's about taking ownership yourself. Everyone's good enough, mate. There is no, in my opinion, obviously take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, you basically have the golden ticket already. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone or any being. You already live forever. You already exist. You are perfect in your imperfect self. You know, life is about the journey, and I believe we live many, many lifetimes over and over again. And I think that we experience ourselves from multiple angles and multiple experiences so that we can understand ourselves in a more broader, deeper way. And that's what I think we're a part of. I think we're a part of the all-expanding consciousness, which is us, which is existence. And we can reflect ourselves any way, shape or form we like. Limitations and beliefs are things of this world. They are things that have been put upon man by other men to often control the masses so they can get out of those people what they want for their own gain. I believe that that's enough. People need to realise that it's about taking back your power, and it's about understanding that you are as important as everybody else, and we're all equals. We're all part of the all that is. We all came into this world as babies and brand new beings, and we'll leave as individual beings all the same way. So why do we treat each other differently constantly? Why do we do that? We should be respectful to each other. We should unconditionally love each other as brothers and sisters and family. That's how I see it. You know, if you like how I talk, please remember to subscribe. I will jump on live quite regularly, and so you can listen to my authentic self chatting away about how I see things. Well, that's your opinion, Clark, and I know you were talking about that last night, right? And if you want to spruik about Jesus being the answer for you, you can start your own YouTube channel, all right? No dramas. I mean, if you want to hear a different way, or someone that sees life in a different way to the way religious people see it, have a listen. I've got no dramas with that. I'm not against anyone believing whatever they want. But if you're going to jam things down onto people and say this is the only way, well, I don't believe in that. That's right, Roman. Welcome aboard, mate. The unknown is exciting to me, right? That's how we basically learn new things, right? Everything that's new is unknown. When we start this life as new beings, or this life as a new fresh slate that we create for ourselves, every experience is new. It doesn't mean it's the first time we've done this. It just means that we've we deliberately close our mind off so it becomes a new experience again. So we get that euphoria of, wow, I've never experienced this before, which is an amazing feeling when we experience things for the first time. That's why I believe we do it. We do it to learn the awakening experience again of someone that, doesn't know, to getting to a point where we do know ourselves better, and we keep on expanding upon that. We keep on connecting with more of who we really are. That's the exciting thing about life. Life is about the journey, right? Yes, and you can choose to believe whatever it is you want to believe along the journey. But if something's limiting, if something's a real, if you don't do this, bad things will happen to you, I see that as a real red flag, right? That those things or those teachings are not doing it from the heart, because they're trying to direct you through fear. Anything that tries to direct someone to be someone through fear, it can't be right, It doesn't sit with me. And things that are unknown, Roman, things that they are scary. The unknown is scary. I mean, like when you've never done something before, when you've never experienced it, you don't know whether it's real and you don't know whether it's not real, but you want to find out, you've got to experience it or try and experience it to understand it. It's the same thing. I speak about this openly, that I've been out of my physical body twice in my life, where it's an out-of-body experience, where I've seen my energy body. And you have a vibration and an energy level that's 1,000 times more than what any of us feel now when you separate from the physical. It's a very, very heavy existence we live in these physical bodies. When we are separate to that, when you feel our pure spiritual energy by itself, separate to the physical body, oh my God, right? It's an unbelievable feeling, and it's a real connection with who we are. And I did that when I was younger, through wanting to know whether out-of-body experiences were real, because I was told that there was something that, existed, and it's a very fearful thing to try and do when you've never done it before, and you don't really have anyone to lean on. You're going on a book that might be talking about techniques to do this, and I had to really just be brave and have a crack and test it out and see if it was genuine and see if it was real. And I got to experience that twice at this stage. I'm not saying that I won't do it again, but I haven't gone down the path to really worry about that. What it did for me was it just allowed me to be really comfortable in the space that we go on, that I believe we exist forever. Our energy body, our spiritual consciousness is not something that disappears. It's always there. So in life, wouldn't you then realize that, hey, me being this being that goes on, I've chosen to come and live this existence now. It must be important. So whatever, even if you don't know the answer to why you're here, and if the importance, you haven't connected fully with the heart about why you've come here on a personal level, it has to be important because you chose to be here, right? You chose to live this life. And if you're not trying to get the most out of it, it just shows that there's still more connection that you need to make with who you are. And that's what I talk about. I talk about, being really positive, but trying to find a better connection with yourself, trying to find a cleaner connection or a more full connection with who you really are. And there's things that you can do to lift your vibration, to connect with the things that are right for you, to get you on the path of, creating your own reality in a really positive, meaningful way. I mean, we all forget in a lot of cases the things that we love to do, the things that are passionate to us, things that we have personal passions, things that make us feel fantastic when we're doing them, right? So you might be someone that, I don't know, dreamed about being a pilot and it never happened, right? Flying planes, etc., all that type of stuff. And because it was always something that was in you from when you were a young kid, but life took you in other directions and you ended up doing something else because other people's opinions influence you. But then down the track you go, geez, I wouldn't mind taking a private lesson and seeing how I feel when I do it, because I've always believed that flying planes was something that was a passion to mine. And then all of a sudden when you take that one lesson, this overwhelming excitement and joy comes over you. And it's that feeling of the vibration in you lifting, which helps you to understand that that's something that means something deep to you. That's a personal love of yours, a passion of yours, something that makes you feel alive. Like, there are personal things to each of us that we're passionate about, but often life and what other people direct us when we're younger, we take different directions because we think that's what we have to do. It's like a lot of the world says, be like this and look like this, because then people will love you more. And that's the biggest lie that I think I've ever heard, right? You need, in my opinion, we all need to be our true selves. We all need to reconnect with who we really are. We all need to feel good about who we are. We're part of the all that is. We are existence personified. There is no better or lesser than. We are a part of it. We are one with it all. It's the all that is. It's not a god or a goddess. It's God, goddess, all that is. We are a part of everything. Don't look at yourselves as lesser than, as sinners, right? You are not. You are learning and you are doing the best you can with what you know. Don't beat yourself up about that. Don't put yourself down, because you create your own reality. If you're putting yourself down or you believe you're lesser than, you keep recreating lower vibrational negative stuff about yourself, because that's what you're thinking and acting and saying, right? The one rule of thumb is you are the all that is, and you create whatever it is that you want for yourself. But you do it through your thoughts, your comments, what you say, and through your actions in this life. Those three things send the messages to your subconscious that have your subconscious then duplicate them, give you more of what you say you want to your higher self. Your higher self is always listening. If you have a moment where you just drop down, you go, this is shit, and da-da-da, and you start reacting to things like that, your subconscious goes, oh, Craig wants more of that. And then it keeps creating that. It goes whatever way you want it to go. Is being a positive thinking person important? It's the most important thing you can do for yourself. You want to have a great life. You want to transform your life into more than what it is now. You need to take ownership of what you consciously are doing, what you consciously are thinking, what you're saying, and how you're acting. Go after the things that you want in your life. Write down here, put comments down to say, what is it that you want out of life? What's the ultimate thing that you all want to create for yourselves in your life? If you could have one wish to transform your life, what would it be? Bang it out in the comments. Let me see, right? Because there's no limitations. The only limitations you have are what you put upon yourself. And they're your beliefs. And if you want more, you have to expand your belief system. You have to believe you deserve more. You know, my thing here is to really talk about, if you're enjoying yourself in life, if you're enjoying life fully, you don't need to have anything more than that. I enjoy all the things I do in life. Like, there are things in my past that I did different jobs that, yeah, my heart wasn't in it. And before I knew it, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And the next thing you know, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I had to work out why that particular job I was doing came to an end, why my energy dropped off and I didn't want to do it anymore. And it always came back to the same thing. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. There you go, Sops, playing games, mate. I mean, I'm sure you would love to play games every day, right? If you love gaming, it's a passion. Make sure it's in your life, and I'm sure it is. Make sure it's in your life. It's one passion, right? I'm not saying that everyone has just one passion, but at a certain time in everyone's life, there are certain things that come to the fore, right? That's the most important thing to me. So just make sure that you're filling up your well. Just make sure that you're feeling as good as you can. You see, people in life look for connection, right? And they look for connection predominantly because they're not feeling very good. I'm sure, Sops, when you're gaming, you feel awesome, right? You feel on top of the world. Is that right? I'll keep talking, but I'll wait for the response. When you feel on top of the world with something like that, it's you realizing that you're lifting your vibration. It's why you feel good, because you're doing something that means something to you. There's a connection there. Makes you feel alive, right? You want to feel the most alive you can feel. That's connection. Lifting a person's vibration is something that you do for yourself, but you do it through realizing, hey, I love doing that. I want to do more of that, right? Now, obviously, there are, when you're gaming, it's not often that people turn gaming into a job, but some can, right? There's people that make games. There's people that go into computer programming and creating tech and all that type of stuff. And maybe that's a deeper level passion. I don't know, Sops, but following your passions until you've gone as far as you can is a very important thing for a person to do for themselves, And when you get to that point where you go, oh, I can't really go any further, I usually find that there's another thing that I'm suddenly drawn my attention to, and that is another passion that I want to go down. And it's almost like your higher self is directing you in that way. You came into this life because you chose to. Connecting with what is inside yourself, the things that you love to do, that's the light. That's the light that we need to follow through life, is the things that make us feel the best we can feel. So if right at the moment the only thing that really makes you feel awesome that you can understand, Sops, is gaming, go for it, mate. Do it. Do it when you've got the opportunity to do it. You'll connect with people that are like-minded. Opportunities can be created from that. When you do something you love, opportunities can open up in that area of the things that you love to do. So don't let anyone tell you that it's not important to you if you know it is. And we're just using your comment as that way of looking at it, right? So for anyone else that's on here, if there's something that you want in your life that you haven't got yet, post away, put it on here. Let's chat about it, right? Trying to get people tonight. And when I normally do my lives, hey, I do the most of the talking, right? I'm talking about how we create our own reality and, how you can transform your life for the better. But to get the reflection for yourself, to put the things that you want from your life for you out there so you can read it back, right? What do you really want to see your life, what direction do you want to go in? What are the things that you love to do? What are the things that you want to see created in your own life? Post something. If you're keen to say something, to put it out there. No dramas, pop it out there. Always happy for us to interact around that stuff. So let's get back to that glass half full attitude, right? And that's something that I have been like my whole life. My friends will tell me that you're always very positive. Well, you get a choice. It's a choice whether you want to actually be no offense to the Debbies, but a Debbie Downer, or you want to be a positive cat, right? And I think at the very basic level, treat people the way that you want to be treated. Talk respectfully to people, talk to them unconditionally with positive, attitudes, because the people that come into your world are actually, in my opinion, they're a reflection of you, right? So when things are going haywire out around your life, when situations are happening and they're negative and they get out of control, this is a reflection of a part of yourself that you need to actually slow down and have a good think about how you respond to these situations, how you feel about this thing that's going on, because you're probably going to find that you have beliefs within yourself that relate to that negative craziness that's actually been created outside of you, because you create, and I'll say this slowly again, we all create our own personal realities. So if something is happening in your direct reality that's out of whack, something in you is coming up. There's a belief that's wanting to come to the surface, and you want yourself to look at yourself. Life is all about ourselves. It's not a selfish thing. It's a self-worth, self-esteem thing. You got to put yourself first. If you want to be a person that helps other people, the best way you can help other people is to help yourself first. Because if you've got issues with yourself, or you've got stuff that hasn't been dealt with, your energy will drop off very quickly in life and you'll drain yourself very quickly. It's very important to be centered and balanced and know who you are before you go out there trying to help others. Now, the indirect helping of others is the way that I say people should actually go about helping others to improve their own lives. You want to be the shining light in your own life. You want to be the best version of you, right? You want to take ownership of what's going on and change your life for the better, because you work out that you can do it through your attitude, right? And then as you transform your life and it becomes better, everyone around you sees how you're doing it, because the people that are closest to you usually talk about those things with them. Well, I've been starting to be really positive and I'm thinking positive. I'm making sure I talk really positive and I'm working from the heart, and I'm actually, starting to do some actions that tell my subconscious this is what I want in my life. And the actions, because it's a physical reality, the actions that you do actually are then recreated by your subconscious. So when you act really badly, you can get caught on a negative hamster wheel, and people can go around saying, oh, woe is me, life's shit, always shit happens, but they're not consciously aware that their own thinking and acting is recreating that crap. You have to step off the hamster wheel and you have to take control of the craft, which is you, that you're in charge of. Because when you do take conscious ownership of your thoughts, your words and your actions, your life will transform for the better, because it's automatic. Most spiritual teachers will tell you, you just have to deal with, you program things and then everything changes. They don't really give you a lot of information on how to go about it. I've looked at my own life and I've had my own mentors, and I've come up with those simple strategies, and they are the 3 keys to manifesting your life or transforming your life for the better. But you can't lie to yourself, okay? Couple of things you can't do. You can't lie to yourself. You can, but you know that you are, right? And what that means is that you're staying authentic. You're staying in your authentic self. The most successful people in the world are usually, and I've heard this through a lot of when they talk, certain people talk about their successes, they've lived their life as authentically as they can. They've lived from their heart. What do they love? And they just do what they love. They don't think about making money. They don't think about the reasons why. They just are connected with, hey, this is something that's in me. I want to do it. I want to be it. No one's going to stop me. That's what life is. And I'm telling every single one of you out there that life is about being your authentic self. Live your life with passion. Live your life with vigor. Go after the things that mean something to you, and realize that life is important. It's your life. Live it fully. It's not just about going to the gym and having big muscles, right? It's about spiritually being balanced and centered and knowing who you are and taking ownership of how you act and changing the things you don't like about yourself. So when people go, I'm overweight and I want to change myself and make myself physically awesome. Well, you're supposed to do that with the other parts of yourself as well, which is your spiritual part of yourself, which is your conscious mind, which is how you think and act and be. You can't act like a complete lowlife and think that life's going to turn out great for you, right? Your subconscious mind sees you acting in a real negative way, and it will keep recreating negative things to happen in your life. You will get stuck on a negative hamster wheel. We all have to step off that. We all have to see how just low that is for us. We need to understand as a society, as a human race, that we are in control of what's going on more than what most people realize. Most people handball responsibility as something else. Religion's a big one that does it. Just handball all your sins over to me this individual, he'll take care of everything. You just do whatever you want. That's a pretty crazy way to live your life, in my humble opinion, right? You've got to take ownership of who you are. Creating your own reality is a metaphysical understanding that millions of people do believe in. They don't go to a church. They don't gather together. It's usually individuals that have discovered that if I do positive things, more positive things come back, right? And they learn it through meeting other spiritual people and psychics and you know, positive thinking people that you know, want other people to connect with who they really are. And I think over many, many decades, I think there's been many people start to connect more and more with the truth of reality, which is you are the center of your own reality. There is no one there that's going to make things happen or change your life for the better. It's only you that gets that choice to do it. And I think that's an amazing realization. It's one of the most amazing things. When I first was told that understanding in my early 20s, it overwhelmed me so much. I was pretty emotional about it because I'd never met anyone that believed life in that way. And it just, my heart just kind of opened. It's hard to explain, but I knew what I was hearing was the truth. I knew it was for me, I'd been waiting to hear that. And I've never looked back since. I have a really strong connection with how I see life, and life is about each of us understanding ourselves in the best way possible and to be the best version of ourselves. Toyota, good to see you, mate. Beautiful comments, mate. Every small step we take is proof that you're growing, learning, becoming, mate. Exactly. Everyone online, there's only a small group tonight. Toyota, he knows who he's talking about. But that's it. Simplify it down. Don't be hard on yourself. Be good to yourselves, right? Be positive. You can transform anything that you want in your life, right? Anything that you go, I don't really like how I'm acting. Well, you're acting that way. Change how you're acting when that situation comes up. Decide that that's not, I don't want to act like that anymore. You make a decision. You strengthen your spiritual awareness. You strengthen your heart, your connection with your heart, because your heart doesn't want to do bad things. It doesn't want to say bad things. Your heart wants to live unconditionally in love with yourself and with the world and with existence and with everyone. It just wants everyone to understand that we're all connected and we're all important, and you are all important, right? Simply hear those words. You are important. Your life is important. Live your life in the best, most beautiful way you can. Live from the heart. Embrace your family. Tell people you love them when you love them. Don't hide the truth. Live your truth. If it's coming from your heart, you can't go wrong. If you're thinking negative thoughts, it's coming from your ego mind, and you need to actually see what belief is there that's making you think that way. If you're living from the heart connection, you don't think negative thoughts. You know, it's not about controlling anyone else in this life. It's not about making other people do what you want them to do to make your life better. It's about you quietening your mind down, saying, I want to look for the answers within myself. I'm a good person. I must have these answers because I've come into this life by myself. I'll leave by myself. So the answers for me have to be in me. They're not out there. You've brought them with you. You live forever. You're immortal. Be excited that you live forever. I've proven that to myself. Go online and look at a lot of the NDE stories, people that have had near-death experiences. They're all basically the same, right? They're all basically the same. They experience what they believe they're going to see, but they're seeing life that goes on, right? They're seeing that existence goes on, that consciousness doesn't disappear. We don't disappear. But the number one thing that happens is that we judge ourselves. We have a life review. So many people say that, you know, they sit down, they start reviewing their life. You're the one reviewing your life. No other being is judging you. There is no judgment over the other side. There's none. because negative and positive don't really exist. Experiences are just general experiences. We here in this reality create positive and negative in the belief systems that we have. They're created to have the, excitement, the depression, all the different emotions that we can feel here. Those beliefs are also go along with this world. But I think we come here in this world now to take this reality that we create to a much more high vibrational frequency. I think in this reality, we're creating a space that we can learn about ourselves at the next stage, which is an even higher vibrational level, that there's so much more about us that we don't realize. And it does, Freddie boy. It does, mate, because the more that we talk about being positive, the more that we make ourselves dive into ourselves and express ourselves in a more positive way all the time, the more you're going to get that vibration coming back, and the more you lift your vibration. Now, I think the more that I lift my vibration, the more information comes from my heart back into my conscious mind, and I honestly start to understand myself even better. Right? There's no one's on exactly the same path, but I think we have to understand that it starts with ourselves, right? We waste so much of our lives looking for answers out there when it's right in front of us. Who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to, and of course, don't you want great things to happen in your life? Well, you have to be that. You have to create that. You have to speak that. You have to think that. It has to be authentic. You can't act one way and think negative thoughts, because guess what? You destroy the positive actions that you've done. You can't trick your subconscious. You'll just confuse it. If you confuse with messages that you're doing an action, but you think another way, nothing will get created. You must align, you must connect with yourself fully and align with the truth about who you are. Be your authentic self. Yeah. You manifest your own destiny, Fred. Yes, you do, mate. And the more positive you project, the bigger the dreams, the more love and positivity and abundance that you put out there that you want for you, the more will come back, right? You have to keep breaking down your limitations or your beliefs on how much do I deserve? Is it really? You limit yourself through what you think you deserve, what you think you're worth. You're worth everything. You're all worth everything. You're worth like unlimited, whatever you want, right? But it's connection for me in this life. It's not about money. It's about a deeper, realer connection with who we are. That, let's imagine you get to a point where a person can think a thought and bang, it manifests. Why would you need money then? Because you can have an experience just through thinking and wanting that experience, and it creates in front of you. You don't need money because you've surpassed that. Money's just an energy. And maybe now a few people need a bit of money to create a bit more freedom because they're not at that level of creation. But I believe we're eventually going to get there. Man, you're rich. It's not about the money, Fred. It's totally about your belief about you. What do you want in your life? I said to a few people earlier, and a couple of people did it, if you want, what's the thing? If you imagine yourself saying to yourself the most positive thing you possibly have in your life now, if you could have one thing that just happens in your life, what is it? Who do you want to be? Express it. Put it out there on the chat. Say, I would love to have XYZ in my life, or I would love to be living this type of future that you're not doing right now. Put it down. Ground it. Say it. Say it on the chat. Tell everyone, right? It's not like you're telling a lot of people anyway, but put out what it is you want for yourself. Write it down. Tell us. And, then you're actually seeing yourself put it down, and it actually helps with you directing yourself in that path, because your subconscious mind sees what you're writing here too. So if you say, this is what I want, I'm speaking to me, I'm putting it down, bang. All these things, your actions, your thoughts, your words. Well, I don't know about my looks, man, but charisma, that can be worked on like no drama, right? You lift your vibe more, you be more extroverted. And I'm an extroverted cat, right? But charisma goes with that, right? And that's confidence in who you are. So connecting with your true self and finding the things that you really enjoy, and then you're expressing them, then you're doing them more, you're lifting your vibe in that area. Charisma comes up with that, mate. That's the excitement of life, right? When you connect with something that really excites you, keep going down that path, right? 3 years, mate. Well, you're giving yourself a bit of time. Will it take that long? What about 2 years? What about 1 year? What about 3 months? See, when a person puts a time, it kind of shows the limited beliefs that they carry. It's going to take a bit of time for, it's going to take a bit of time, but you see what I'm saying? It's the reflection. Mate, I'm always beating the drum. It's twisted tonight a little bit, Dave Roadstrom. Welcome, mate. I've twisted the drum. I'm trying to get people to now put out the things they want for themselves. Write them down, put them in the chat. What do you want for yourself in the next 2 years? Oh, well, there, Fred, you're younger than me, mate, by about 6 years. So, plenty of time, mate. Plenty of time, right? But you can see what I mean. When you write something down, you see it. That's what I want. It kind of clicks with yourself a little bit. And I know you might not notice that straight away, but so like I said, those things about this world and yourself, you want to create. Pick down from covering being physically, mentally, and I've never been before. I will do the things in my life that I put out. Absolutely. ME50M. Very nice, mate. All those things are very possible, right? Now is where it exists. So when you write down those things that you absolutely want for yourself, the second question is what? Second question is, okay, I'm here and I want to get here. What do I have to do to get there? And then you set goals, right? Then you set the things that you need to do to be in better physical and mental condition. Maybe you start going to a meditation class. Maybe you start going to gym a little bit more regularly. Maybe you join a running group, whatever it is. It's about creating that truth. Ann Schultz, HMR17. Well, Roadstrom, that sounds quite expensive. But if you want that, I'm sure that you can have that. You have to you still have to do the same as everyone else. You have to look where you are right now, analyze what you got, where you are, what that particular thing is, why you want it. Is there a real positive reason for you to create that? And then what is it going to take me to get that? And how long will it take me to get that? And set those things in place. And then you kind of break it down to what do I have to do over steps of time to create that. Now, some things can be created quite quickly. Some things don't seem they're possible at all because your beliefs say I couldn't logically do this. RIP Charlie Kirk. No worries, last beacon. Very, very sad there. I haven't kept up with online reports. Charlie Kirk just passed, yeah. So, no good. That's sad news for people that really liked him. But everyone steps into the next world when their time is ready. Oliver Smith, you have a few YouTube things, don't you, sir? All good, mate. Good to see you too, mate. Good for hanging out. But yeah, look, it's manifesting what you want is not just a bunch of words. You've got to learn to put the actions in place because we're living in a physical reality that we've created for ourselves, right? This is like a simulation, but because it's a physical reality and things are created and we change all the time, we have to make a conscious decision what we're going to change to next. You changed your handle. All right, sweet as. Me 50M, that's fine, mate. I've got you, Oliver. No dramas. You have to know who the you that you want to be is and what it will look like, and then you have to know where you are now. And I say this a lot, but then you can get that image of what you need to do to get there. You can start to work that out. Now, it doesn't always have to be just logical. Creating your own reality can be straight from the heart. And I always say to everyone, don't put limitations on it, because you'll be quite amazed how your higher self can create something that might not happen the way you thought. You know, if you were trying to create abundance for yourself, it doesn't have to come in money. It can come in someone giving you a gift or something like that just comes out of nowhere. And that gift allows you to do whatever it is that you wanted to do because it was worth that much money. Don't put limitations or specific ideas into your manifesting. Leave it open as you can, because then you give your higher self or your subconscious mind a more open field to create it in the easiest way, because it'll want to manifest what you're asking for in the quickest way. But you don't want to put those specific limitations on it where it has to be this, because then it's going to take probably longer to achieve that, right? I look forward to watching you throw a sledgehammer around and start getting that giant picket fence in place. But it's a decent border, mate. It's a decent border along Victoria. It's not a little job. It's a big job along that Murray River. Goes a long way. I wouldn't want to be doing it. But if you start that campaign for the Melbourneites, well, I'm just going to have to start the Queensland campaign too, mate. You know? Let's separate it from the rest of Australia. Just for fun. Just for the shits and giggles. All right? Look, simply tonight, I wasn't going to do a long session. I just wanted to remind everyone that pops on, your attitude is everything. So don't forget that, right? Stay true to yourself. Stick to your positive mindset. You know, if you hear people talking negatively that you care about, pull them up. Say, you know that a lot of people believe that when you talk and say negative things that you actually are creating those things for yourself. You don't hurt anyone else when you put out negative stuff. The only person you're affecting in a negative way is you. And it's the same when you're being positive. You're not helping the other person. You're actually saying it to you. If you be positive, that's going to reflect back and you're going to create that positive in your life. Everything you do and say is what you're telling your subconscious you want more of. So be smart, everyone. Try to be more upbeat, positive about what you're thinking, saying, and doing. And it really is, it's as simple as it gets, right? But I appreciate the few people that have banged on a few things that they want for themselves, because you look at that, you see it, you've written it down. It means something to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have put it out there. You wouldn't have said, hey, this is something that I really want. Well, now that you've put it into words, have a think about it a bit more. Quiet, go and have 5-10 minutes where you just lay down, quiet your mind, and think about what it is that you really want to create, and see if some ideas pop into your mind while you do that. Maybe there are some things that you can start to do that'll bring that manifestation a lot closer to becoming reality for yourselves. You can have anything you want in your life. You seriously can. You just have to believe that it's possible, that you deserve it, and it's something that you truly need. Wanting something is harder. Well, what if you were to create a $3,000 windfall somehow, Roadstrom, or that came into your world through some other avenue? Maybe then it's a different discussion. Or maybe you create $6,000 and the missus gets $3 to spend on what she wants and you spend $3 on what you want, right? There's always multiple opportunities, right, to create the things that you want in your life. And with any relationship, mate, isn't it? It's about compromise, man. You know, If you're going to get something worth $3,000 and she's getting nothing, she might feel hard done by. So think about it from that perspective. But, you know, I think that's something that can happen for you, mate. No dramas at all. I'm getting some knowledge in the chat immediately. You start talking about meditation. Do you know Prem? No, I do not know Prem Rorit. Are they someone that does a lot of meditating, are they? Or there's a lot of people that teach meditation out there. I mean, I learned the basics of meditation when I was around 21 years old, so it was about 35 years ago. And look, the basics of any meditation is breathing, right? But quietening the mind. You can just relax, and you know when you go up, people say, he's gone off with the fairies, he's not here. That's a form of meditation where you're off, your subconscious is off searching for answers, your conscious mind's gone off searching for answers. The breathing is simple, okay? You breathe in your nose, deep, push your stomach out, your belly button, your diaphragm, push it out, hold the breath, and then exhale out the mouth. And cycle the air that way. It's the same way they teach people to sing. They have to learn to breathe that way when they're singing, when they're singers. So meditation is exactly the same thing. You're basically telling yourself when you breathe that way to slow down. It's the way people slow their heart rates down, right? I've heard stories of people that have hurt themselves or had snake bites, and they've been able to slow their heart rate down so the poison doesn't travel as fast around the body and they get more time to get to hospital. You know, we have more control over ourselves than we realise. Practicing your breathing and slowing yourself down and being calm and centered at times, at least once a day, makes a huge difference to your energy. And it actually allows you time to connect with the things that, hey, what do I really want to be doing? Am I happy with what I'm doing at the moment? Is there something else I can do to improve how I'm going? Maybe something will be more exciting for me, or I miss doing this. This is something that I have always loved to do. So you need to quiet your mind and you need to ask yourself those questions. So I say 5 minutes of breathing, closed eyes, relax, let your mind go blank. Let the day's stress wash away, and then ask yourself some heartfelt truths about yourself. Speak from the heart to yourself. You might be amazed at what answers pop into the mind. Pay attention. So, what is it that I really want to be doing? And relax and see what happens. It might not happen straight away, but if you do the breathing and you relax every day and you practice centering and balancing yourself, stepping out of the rat race for those 5-10 minutes and just centering yourself, you might be surprised at the information that starts to come forward into your conscious mind from your subconscious mind, from your higher self, as they say, the you that you want to become, the you that holds a lot of the dreams and aspirations of a better world or more exciting creations for yourself, you know. But that's it. Try those things. There is a little video I did on my page talking about the short meditation you can do for yourself in the breathing. So if you need to have a little bit of a watch of that just to listen to a few of the things that I say about meditation, feel free. But that's it. Tonight I might call it there. I did start later, but I think we've had a nice little positive chat for all you guys that have jumped on. I appreciate all of you. I think most of the people that have been on are regular subscribers anyway, but always if someone hasn't subscribed and they like what I talk about and they want to see me when I jump on my lives, you got to subscribe and hit notifications so you can see when I jump on. So it's all good, guys. I appreciate all of you. You're all perfect as you are. You don't have to achieve anything to achieve immortality. You are immortal. Be excited about that. Live life from your heart and be excited about the life and be positive about all the opportunities that you can learn to create for yourself. That's exciting. It excites me. I hope it excites you. Craigsworldrocks. I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Have fun. Be good to each other. I'll see you later.